Well, as schools decide how and if they will open as the pandemic continues, many parents are weighing their options. A Healthline media survey found only about 10% of parents feel comfortable sending their kids back to school. As uncertainty lingers, the Duluth Homeschooling Mutual Aid Network group has formed on Facebook. The creator of that group is a substitute teacher who has decided not to go back into the classroom this fall because of the pandemic. Almanac North producer Ramona Morozes spoke with her earlier this week.
My name is Heidi Bach-Hansen. I'm the organizer of a mutual aid network called the Duluth Homeschooling Mutual Aid Network. It's an organization that's about helping each other through this educational crisis, the portion of a crisis that is much larger than that, but just oriented towards helping parents and kids who need access to information and materials and learning opportunities that are safe, outdoor, socially distanced, all those things. We're in an unprecedented time educationally and societally, and what we choose to do with that time and making it productive in a positive community-based way. I mean, that's what this is about. I can't imagine having a kid at home and knowing you're not having anyone to talk through what you need educationally for your child. I'm a stepmom to two grown kids. I recognize that being able to homeschool is a privilege that a lot of people can't choose for a number of reasons. But if it's one of those things where they really want to choose that, but just need some help, that's certainly something we feel like we can help folks out with. I think the main concern would be the idea that if parents who have a lot of privilege can pull their kids out, how does that affect the children who don't have those choices? And I think that's why we got to this point with the Mutual Aid Network. As far as homeschooling goes, we're kind of entering a different era in that this is not really homeschooling. This is, like they said, crisis schooling. It's trying to figure our way through a very complicated situation. There's a lot of parents who will just homeschool for the duration. They have no intention of necessarily keeping their kid out forever. If you pull a child out, you have to make that notification legally to the superintendent saying you're doing so, following the same rules, the same law. That is, and we have it on a document if people in a pretty simple language that lets people understand what it is they need to do. I don't necessarily feel comfortable encouraging people to, flee the school system or something. I think people should do what they want to. If I were going to go into a school building, I would be anxious. Yeah. So I hope that schools do what they say they're going to do to make that the safest thing possible. I'm not certain that scientifically that is possible right now. Not right now. Have you ever tried to keep a mask on a child for 8 hours? I haven't tried that yet. And I do have friends feeling like if I send my kid to school, I'm a bad mom, or if I don't send him to school, I'm a bad mom. No one should be in the business of judging someone they're not being unsafe. They're doing what they feel is right for their kid. Community is something one should be able to depend on, and that in times of crisis, I can't think hugely. I like to think in a very specific local way. What can I personally do? And so this was just the thing that I knew I could do based on what I know how to do. But I think for all of us, we need to do what we can to help each other through this in whatever way, whatever talents we've got.
Heidi Bach-Hansen says the deadline to submit an intent to homeschool is October 1st, and many parents are waiting to hear final plans from their school district before making a decision on homeschooling.